Alright guys, what I have for you today is some direction on just the glass removal on a Motorola Maxx. Now I believe this is the same for the Ultra. This is not the Razr Maxx. This is the newest Maxx, I'm told. This was a customer's LCD that was cracked that I replaced, so I was able to do a little bit of practicing on this to kind of see how everything works underneath the glass so that I could prepare for the next customer, which has the same exact phone that just needs the glass replaced. So I figured I'd throw this up even though obviously I already have the glass off. If you guys have ever done screens before, then you'll already know how to do this, because it's just like doing an S3 or a Note 2. There's nothing on the top, but before I get into that, like I said, it's a lot like doing a Note 2, except the LCD is a little thicker, so it's a little bit stronger, so it's not as susceptible to being cracked while you're taking the glass off, but you still have to be really careful. I found that these aren't much help if there's a lot of breaks, if you get a lot of chipping going on, but if you can get under the top corner here real gently with these and not pry against the glass, try not to pry against the glass. I found that I couldn't crack the glass with one of these. So that's how kind of tough it is, but still be really, really careful. The Note 2s, I've pressed this in on a Note 2 and hit the corner of the LCD and cracked the LCD and had to pay a $230 LCD for a customer. So these aren't paper thin LCDs, but you still have to use extreme caution, obviously. So basically how it started was I just got the top heated. I think you want to do it up to about 150, 160, 170 degrees, whatever it is. I use a heat gun. A blow dryer I found just takes like freaking 3 hours to get this thing heated up to the right temperature. So use whatever you got, I guess, but you need to get it nice and hot. You don't want to get it too hot that you burn your LCD. It's about 160 degrees, I think, is what the hot plates get them up to for professional use. So basically it's to the touch. If you can't touch it, you're getting it too hot. So, and if it's not hot enough, you'll find that when you come in here like this with one of these, or you're using a pry tool or whatever, like these that you use for like doing iPads and stuff, this is what I use mostly to get it started. You can use a razor blade, but take extreme caution because you will screw up your plastic trim piece here if you cut it and stuff. So that's kind of more for the professional use. I wouldn't suggest it. If your glass is completely shattered, by the way, just a side note, I would recommend using the molybdenum wire on something like this. Just because of the Loca, and it'll cut your time in half, and it'll cut your the scratching of your LCD by a lot too. So anyways, it's connected through a ribbon cable that goes through the phone to the back on this left side here. As you can see, right there is where it goes through. This is all, none of this is attached to anything, so none of this is anything to worry about. But we flip it over and you can see right there is where it plugs in. Okay, so this is the special instructions for this style of phone. Okay, so you have a ribbon cable and you can see it comes through and it plugs in right here with one of these these little black flip up clips. So I like to use this. I've done a lot of phones, so I'm really careful with my stuff. I wouldn't recommend using one of these if you're a newbie, just because you could puncture your ribbon cable or whatever. But this ribbon cable should come on your part. Okay, this will come already glued to your screen, so really you don't even need to worry about it. If it doesn't come with your screen, then you got to reuse this. Then you gotta, you'll probably want to use maybe a little bit of super glue gel, just real lightly in a couple spots that aren't on, that aren't directly over the spots that you'll use the buttons. And you can see where the buttons are being used. There's these two little sensor pads right here and right here. That's where it senses your touch. All this up here is all just space for adhesion. Okay, so if you wanted to and you were having to reuse this, I'd glue this to your phone screen first, your glass first, either using double-sided tape or really tiny drops applied with a toothpick of super glue gel. But for first timers, I'd probably just use double-sided tape. Okay, it's really cheap. You can get it on eBay if you want. But if yours comes with the parts that I'm seeing on like eBay and stuff, I'm seeing this already sticking out the bottom. This piece sticking out the bottom, so it must be glued to the screens already. I haven't got my new screen for the next phone yet, so I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure this will already be on your screen. Okay, so when you're taking this glass off down here, it really doesn't even matter. Just don't yank on it too much. Okay, so the way you remove it on this side is, again, like I said, it doesn't really matter if you're using this on the old one. You just got to be careful when you're using the new one. You flip this up this way, okay, and then it should pull right out. And that's the ribbon cable. Now to put this one back in, it's fairly simple. You can, what I do is just kind of grab the phone like this, make sure all the glass is out in the corner. See, I got a little glass in that corner right there. Little glass in that corner. You want to make sure you get all that cleaned out good. Keep it warm. And come on the back side and just kind of I hold the back of the LCD back here and just kind of push down on this and go real slow, and it should pop open for you. Okay? I believe that's all there is to the LCD being mounted in there. Is a little bit of adhesive on the very edge. You can see right here. That's not even adhesive, that's a pad. So that's all it is to separate the frame from the LCD. So you can actually just pop this off. When I was practicing when I did this, you can actually feed it in here if you want to try and feed it in. There's a little space in there to where you can feed this ribbon cable, kind of wiggle it up in there, and then using one of those tools or a plastic tool, you can kind of pull it into the socket and close it. But then I found that if you just apply a little bit of pressure, the LCD just pops right out. So you could pop it out, plug that thing in, put the LCD back down. Okay, heat it up to make sure it stays in one piece, and if it doesn't, then use some super glue gel or something, and then your screen will be back in. Then you can flip this over, then you can make sure everything's really clean again, blow it off with air, do whatever you would normally do on these types of screens, and then, you know, with the double-sided tape in place and stuff, make sure you don't cover up your sensor holes and stuff like that. So you got to be real careful across the top, and probably just put a piece here in between those two, a piece across the top of the speaker, a piece right in there, you know what I mean, and a piece across the top way up in there. And you might want to double this stuff up because it looks like the LCD kind of sits on top, see? So if you're putting tape down here, you might want to double that part of it up so that you're not touching the glass. Again, use your own discretion as far as this goes. I'll be putting out a new video on just exactly how to do this with how much tape to use and what areas. If you want to do Loca on it, you can do that. Just order up you some Loca, some liquid, or I'm sure they'll be coming out with the pads for this soon. But that'd be the better way to do this, would be with the Loca adhesive, and then you probably wouldn't even have to worry about putting the trim around the outside. I would still do it just to keep, I don't know, keep stuff out of your buttons and stuff. But Loca would be the best way to do this phone. But if you don't have that skill available, or you don't have that kind of stuff available, you can just tape it in. It appears anyway. So yeah, there's a spot for tape all the way around this edge. It did have tape on it too, so all these edges here have a little double-sided tape on them. It was extra hard to get the very edge off, so there's some adhesive that runs around the whole edge of this phone. There's some adhesive that runs around the whole edge of this frame here. So that was my dog. He's snoring over there. Paco. He's a little fuzzy because we're in macro mode here. So again, so like I said, there you go. There's the information. That helps. I hope it does. Again, this video wasn't to show you how to remove, a glass that's adhered to a phone using Loca, because that's just like any other Loca adhered phone. This was just to show you the points of connectivity on the bottom of this phone, how it connects and stuff, and basically it's not bad. It's not as, you don't even have to worry about the ribbon cable if it comes with your new one. So that makes it pretty easy. Just be careful of your LCD and you guys should be good. I'll be putting out a new video where I do the next one. So if you want some more pump me up and give me confidence before I fix my phone videos. Look for that one soon to come. Thanks again. We'll see you guys later. To get that back in is the trick of this whole process. And if I had two hands and a little stand for this camera, I would show you. Oh, well, there you go. That's a lot easier. Okay, start over.